Awesome. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming to the SYD17 Project Showcase. It's been a year since our SYD17 cohort of 36 gathered in Sydney, Australia for a 3-day Innovation Academy. And here we are today for a reunion and to hear what your projects have been up to and, importantly, how we can help support them. What you can do in the chat right now, say hello. Go ahead and I know we have some mentors and coaches watching on the YouTube live channel. This will be recorded so you can share this after. But please give a hello and where you're from in the YouTube chat. And then you can also just reflect on the #1 thing that has changed for you this past year. Maybe it's been a job, or maybe you have a new look, whatever that might be. Go ahead and throw how you've changed in the last year. And we'll go ahead and introduce, as you're doing that, a few people on the call today. The way we'll work our showcase hangout is we're going to have you each share your challenge and solution that you came up with, and then your call to action, how others can get involved. So we'll pull everyone on the call up, share their project on the screen, and hear a little bit from them. But we're also going to hear from a couple of guests today. We're so excited to have Cyrus Mystery, the Group Product Manager for Education Platforms and Ecosystems, joining us, and he's going to talk a little bit about innovation and hopefully keep you motivated and inspired to keep going with either your projects or new ones. And I'd also love to have a couple of other folks on the call just give a nice hello and final wishes of success on their projects and moving forward. As you finish your official year, we hope you continue to be involved as Google Certified Innovators and also continue to innovate on new projects moving forward. So I know Dan Stratford met a lot of you at our Energizer this past week, but he'll also be working with you moving forward. Dan, did you want to say hello and offer a brief bit of inspiration before they go off?
Well, hi, everyone. I could definitely say hi. I don't know anything about inspiring all of you. I feel like I get all the inspiration from all the great stuff that you guys did. It's good to see you all again. Met many of you just last week. Made it back to the summer, so it's good to be here. But I had a great time while I was down under. And yeah, just really excited to be here for this moment. It's been a long journey for you over the past year, and I know there's been lots of ups and downs and iterations, and so just really excited to celebrate with you wherever you are at, in that journey. I know you've learned a ton, and excited to hear from you. So thanks for what you're doing, and really excited to hear about it.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan, for joining us, and thanks for shepherding this group. And we have Mark Wagner on the call, too. Mark, do you want to say hello? And you saw them a year ago, and you're seeing them now. Any words of wisdom to share with these guys?
I also don't know about words of wisdom. And I think Dan did a great job covering the last year. I'm excited about seeing where everybody has got. But I think about some of the others who might be watching and some of the others who might not be showcasing today. And I think perhaps take a dose of inspiration from seeing where everybody did get to and what they did overcome, and keep going. I think that's the message I'll put out there today.
Awesome. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Dan. Okay. And I don't think we have any coaches or mentors on the call, but big shout out to
all. Hi, guys.
Oh, yay. Les is here. Hey, Les, our design coach. Les, you got to see them start from scratch with their applications and worked with them face to face. Any thoughts just in the design process as people are launching stuff? Any advice or words moving forward for people today?
Again, I feel like I get more ideas and inspiration from you guys, echoing what Mark and Dan said. But also, I would say just no matter where you're at in the process, remember that it's not about creating this like perfect final thing that you're sharing today, but rather just embracing that process of being open to changes and iteration, and continue experimenting and trying things no matter where you're at in the process. It's not about sort of creating a perfect final product. So I'm excited to see how your journey has played out over the past year and hear your stories.
And what mile on your journey today are you on right now?
I'm only at like mile 3. I'm gonna listen in for the next like half hour while I'm running.
Well, we'll keep going. If we talk for an hour and a half, then did you have to run for an hour and a half?
Yeah, about that.
Okay. Thanks for joining us,
Right.
Les.
Okay.
Awesome.
Bye.
Cool. If you've just come in, welcome. And with that, I'll go ahead and introduce Cyrus and have you share a little bit, Cyrus, about what you do at Google and how all of these innovators can keep innovating as they go forward. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Can everyone see me and hear me, hopefully?
I hear you, but I don't see you.
Do you see me?
I see
Do
you.
other people see me?
Oh, there you go. I got you now. Awesome. Go for it.
No?
Okay, good. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity. Oh, someone else said no visual. Hopefully some people can see my video because I can see it. So I am very, there's an echo. I'm very excited to be here. This innovator program is phenomenal. I think you guys are truly the best of the best that are out there. And many of you know our Google technologies better than we do. I have been at Google for October will be 12 years, which is it's kind of like the in dog years things. That's an extremely long time, a long time even in tech in general, but a long time at Google. So I've worked with a lot of, I've actually worked with Larry and Sundar, having been here so long. I was the product manager for the Google Search Appliance, which is an old product. Some of you may know what that is. We used to actually sell an appliance so that schools and businesses could do search within their own, get Google quality search. Then I was one of the starting PMs for Google Drive, which you guys know what Google Drive is, hopefully. Google Calendar, Google Tasks. I was the PM for those. And then I joined the Chrome OS team, and they asked me, what do I want to do on the Chrome OS team? And I said, I think we should take this to schools and businesses. And so that's actually, I was the first product manager in that group to look at Chromebooks for education and business. And now I'm fortunate to have a very large team of product managers in, I think 5 different countries, which is pretty nice. And Chromebooks have, as you know, have done extremely well. So we're very humbled and excited by that. Please do ask any questions that you guys might have in the chat. I'm happy to answer any questions about how do product managers at Google innovate? How could we help you? We really could be a big help. I mean, and I've looked at a lot of these projects that you guys did and extremely impressed with what you guys are doing. Like truly like change the world type things. And if we can mention some of these or talk about some of these, we tend to have a large microphone when we mention some of these. So it can help. I would say keep going with it. We're all rooting for you and very excited. I've worked closely with some early EDU developers and that have now got enormous companies created from what started as a small idea with 2 guys. So let me know if you have any questions, and good luck to all of you. Thank you.
Thanks, Cyrus. And a lot of innovators got one of the original CR48s when Chromebooks first came out. Yes. So they were really some of the original innovators with trying to think about how some products could fit in the EDU marketplace. Do you see anything coming up on the horizon that influencers like our innovators can help test and try out in the marketplace?
Wow, that's amazing. I was actually given 16,000 CR48s to give out to schools and businesses. So I still remember that. KIP LA, there was a few, Council Bluffs, there was a few that actually got them very early. And then, of course, we had a lot of consumers get them if they were very web ready. There's definitely a lot of cool stuff coming on our side. And hopefully, hopefully you guys get a chance, even if it's something as simple as, switching your Chromebook to a beta channel or a dev channel. It's a little less stable, but it'll give you some insight into the types of things that are going to be coming several weeks out. We test a lot of things on those channels to get you guys a chance to see what's going on. And yeah, I mean, I think there's some very cool stuff coming in hardware that you'll be very excited about seeing. Hardware toys are always fun. There's a ton of new classroom stuff that recently launched that you guys probably saw. And then there's a very large amount of stuff coming in G Suite. So there's a lot of good stuff coming on all segments.
Awesome. Thanks, Cyrus. And how about as you were kind of starting some of these beginning teams at Google and are, you know, in the ecosystem, often changing and iterating and doing new teams, any advice to folks who are launching and, you know, maybe there's not a blueprint or a plan in front of them, but how they can be brave and do some of those launches and try stuff out? Yeah,
so this is the same thing I tell all of my product managers on Chromebooks is two guiding things. One is think big. Don't be afraid to think big. Things that sound, you know, as Larry calls it, uncomfortably exciting. If it's uncomfortably exciting, you're on the right path. So think big, as big as you can. And the second thing is try, as strange as it sounds, try to fail fast. Your goal is to fail early and fail often. Because if you wait and wait and you're trying to get to perfect, and then you realize you were on the wrong path the whole time, there was a different way to do it or a better way, you want to know that very soon. And so don't be afraid to iterate and get early things out there, early feedback. That's always very good guidance from building products.
Awesome. And Chris Hart is one of our coaches, has put in the chat what your #1 piece of advice to help convince the unconvincible about the value of innovation. So not only do all the innovators who are sharing projects today have to make this stuff, but the next step is to help, especially in school environments, help convince some folks that this is important and to jump on board. Any thoughts for Chris or other innovators on doing that?
So convince those people that don't believe in innovation.
Yeah. You need to spend more time in schools with us, friend. Our world.
That's pretty sad if there's people that don't like the idea of new ideas. But I'm assuming that's the case. But we have been in tech too long. I would say, well, one, I would say don't ram it down their throats. I would say try to let them experiment with it, let them test it, let them play with it, let them get comfortable with it. You know, the #1 feedback I give to my mom, who's always, you know, all of us are probably tech support for our families, given how technical everyone here is. And so you guys will all appreciate and relate to this. But the #1 thing I tell her is, don't worry, you're not going to break anything. I think that feeling that I'm going to do something wrong and, you know, the entire computer will explode, we get people past that nothing bad will happen, everything is reparable. I think that is, and give them time, let them try it. Just say, hey, I think you should try this out. If you get a chance, go to this link. Let them play with it. I think that makes a big difference. A softer touch usually will help, I would say, with the late adopters on the bell curve.
Well stated. Thanks, Cyrus. And Chris admits that was not an easy question, so thanks for fielding it. Awesome. Well, Cyrus, we're going to switch gears and head into some of these projects. Welcome to stick around. And if you guys have any more questions for Cyrus or tips or whether it's technical or innovational, I just made that up, throw them our way. Thanks, guys. And thanks, Cyrus.
Thank you, guys.
All right. We're going to head over now to, you guys should have submitted, there's an internal link if you didn't in the chat, your projects. And so what we'll do is we'll just give you a minute. I'll share my screen with your project on it, and we'll hand the mic over to you and let us know, you know, what did you initially work on? What was your solution? And then mainly, what's your call to action? How can others get involved? Are you looking for more users? Or are you still maybe in the iteration phase of your project, kind of like Les said, maybe you're not totally done yet and you want some more feedback? Let us know, and we'll drop the link in the chat, and we'll also share the link more widely to try to help launch your project even further. Cool. So I'll go ahead and bring up our first project in the showcase. Before I do that, we're all on the call, and it's always so hard to have all these pretty faces without hearing you all, but I know in a big webinar environment, it's hard. But go ahead and unmute, and then we'll all say hello all at once. So we can at least feel the warmth of you. So 1, 2, 3, unmute. Hello.
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 Yay, now that feels better. Awesome. If you guys have any questions, we hope to make it a little interactive. So once each innovator gets done sharing, feel free to unmute and either give your words of awesome or questions that you have about the project. Cool. With that, let's head to our first one. We've got the lovely Heather Breedlove is going to talk about Design Thinker Lab. How are you, Heather?
I'm doing well. Can you guys hear me okay?
Totally. Welcome. Thanks for coming. Tell us about this.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so my project, I really wanted to create something to help teachers make design thinking easy and integrate it with their students. And I shared it with, I was able to create one Design Thinker Lab, Rosie Revere, based on the book Rosie Revere Engineer. And I was able to share it with my teachers in my district, my PLN, at an Arizona summit. Featuring Google for Education. So this is where my project lives, and you can go on there and download it. So that was my challenge, and I was able to kind of get something out there and launch it. Some of the challenges, are we talking about that yet?
No, go for it.
Emily, who's my mentor, and she's on here, she really helped me because I got stuck when I wasn't getting the feedback I wanted. Teachers weren't really, even my local teachers, they just weren't able to use it or, didn't have the time. So I really got stuck trying to get that feedback in that design thinking process. And so she just suggested I reach out to my other groups. I kind of got stuck on staying local because my kit's actually physical as well as digital. And, but I was able to reach out a little bit more and just share it. So I had to kind of pivot. Some things, sometimes it doesn't work the way you want it to, and you have to pivot and change. And so I was able to kind of gather ideas from other groups. I wanted to get some, since I already kind of had a lab kit out there and I wasn't quite getting the feedback on it, I was like, well, I'll just design another kit. And I tried to get ideas for that, and that didn't quite work out. So I really kind of got stuck in that, but in the end, I really just wanted to say, well, what did my project end up doing? What was my impact? And then I finally, at the end, turned on Google Analytics for my website that you see here. So I did make an impact because I can see from just various places around the world, people are at least visiting my site and going there and looking at it. And I did have a few teachers use it in their classrooms that I know of. So I wish I would have turned that on earlier. So that's something I learned.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so some quick advice for people wanting to apply to Google Innovator. Make connections with us, all the other innovators. I was able to do that, and they really helped me become an innovator. And then just keep sharing what you're passionate about. In the middle of my project, I went from Flagstaff, Arizona to Seoul, South Korea. So I had a big move. So that changed a little bit of what I could do with my project. And I'm actually, you said share a call to action. And in my call to action, I've actually changed something I'm doing. I'm going to shelve this for a little while, and I'm going to do a little 5 Things EdTech newsletter. So that's my call to action if you want to subscribe.
I love it. Yeah, drop that link in and we'll.
I will. I'll drop the link in. It's also on my Twitter profile. So yeah, I wanted to continue sharing things with people that I know all around the world, and it's just another way to connect. So we'll see what happens with Design Thinker Lab. It's still there. So.
And I think that's it. Well, first, let's all unmute and give some snaps for Heather. That's pretty awesome. So snap.
Thanks, guys.
And Emily, since you're on the call, did you want to share maybe just briefly what it was like to mentor Heather and what the mentoring relationship was like?
Absolutely. Heather is such a passionate and positive educator, and it was really such a pleasure to be able to work with her. As you've heard, she's created a great product out of her project, and it was just such an honor to be able to work with her and help her through her thinking. For me as her mentor, I really tried to focus on asking a lot of questions and helping her come up with the solutions herself, and really trying to empower her in that way. But also when she asked specifically for advice, I made sure that I was able to give her my honest opinion as well. And she's done such a great job, and I can't wait to see the next project she's working on as well. So good luck with that, Heather.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, Emily. And this is a good example of, I think, Heather, the lab will be there, and some of your guys' resources are online and to be shared and replicated. And we hope you keep innovating on new projects like 5 Things newsletter. So pivot away, and I think just documenting what you have right now and whatever state it's in, and if it feels good enough to keep growing, then grow it. But if you got new seeds to go after, go for it. So thanks so much.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Thanks for letting me share.
All right, let's pull up our next innovator. We've got the awesome Lorinda. Lorinda Ferry's going to share with us all about EdTech Mix, and I'm really excited about this.
Hi, everyone. Nice to see all your pretty faces. I have had a fairly busy year with a change in school, got married, moved house, got a new car, plenty happening. So my project pivoted and changed considerably over the year. My original idea was to come up with a gamified sort of badged leveling system for EdTech across my school system. But since I changed school systems, that changed drastically. And what I found in my new school was teachers found it really hard to find the resources that they needed. So I actually came up with a bit of a one-stop shop for them, which I've replicated on this edtechmix.com website. So if you'd like to check it out, it is at edtechmix.com. And I would really love to have some of you contribute to some of the pages and resources. It's something that I'm going to continue to iterate and develop over the next couple of years. But it's something that I think can be really beneficial for integrating technology. It's just some handy tips and tricks. And even I've had teachers at my school use whole pages and tutorial sections for working with their students. So yeah, would really love your input. And if you'd like to sign up for updates, it's on the front page of the website there.
Awesome. This looks really great. How did you, do you have any tips for people with designing sites, or you got a domain? How did you move about taking an idea and then turning it into, something organized and looks so pretty?
Yeah, I don't have much of a design background, but I had a quick chat to some of my designer friends, and keeping it simple was the best idea. Finding a domain, etc. I had a few great tips along the way from some of the mentors in my life and some of the sessions that I've been to. Chris Betcher gave me a few tips last year in regards to using your training domain, and a few other bits and pieces pointing that to different URLs. So yeah, it was a bit of a journey doing some of the tech side, but pretty easy with Google Sites. And I really loved using, in the last couple of weeks, the new templates feature, which really makes it look a lot more tidy and pretty when you're using Google Sites.
Totally. Thanks, Lorinda. Snaps for Lorinda and EdTech Mix. That's awesome. If you guys have any questions for Lorinda or Heather, wait, did I just sound Australian when I said that, when I called you Lorinda?
Totally.
Okay, good. All right. Yay. Cool. Drop any questions you guys have about it, but really great project, and thanks for sharing. Next up, we have Ty is going to share Mesquite 360. Ty was at ISTE sharing this at our Innovator Kitchen. Excited to see what has happened since then. So Ty, let us know. I'll drop this picture in.
Yeah, hey everybody. So the original problem that I was trying to solve was just instruction in social studies classrooms. It just kind of out of all the subjects seems lacking out of most of them, and it's something that I'm really passionate about. And all of this kind of coincided with our district's technology plan, where we put a big emphasis on things like curiosity and contextual learning. And so this all kind of came together and got me digging into the history of my hometown, and I was able to participate in the expedition beta and build our own expedition about the history of our town. And so basically we took historical elements, places in the community, our schools, and we're building 360 tours of all these places. So like if you look under local history or this Freedom Park, for example, we have a piece of one of the beams from September 11th from the Twin Towers. And it's not feasible for all of our 40,000 kids to go there, but through these tours, we can take all of our kids there. And what I think it's done is it's really kind of helped our kids dig into the past and help understand how we fit in the timeline of history. So yeah. And so one thing actually at the time was I had started using ThingLink for some of these tours, and Tour Creator coming out has been a game changer. So I'm working on changing all those things over. And what's also cool is it's kind of got people in the community excited about this history too. So now, for example, all of our third graders in the district, 3,000 of them are going to be going to our local pioneer homes. So if you were to look under the local history tab and go to the Lawrence Farmstead, this is the one where we got to build the expedition to. And our kids are going to now be going to these old houses and learning how to make butter and just learning about the good old pioneer days. So good times.
This is so awesome. Snaps for Ty. Very awesome. And I love this call to action here on how to do it yourself. So we'll drop this link in, and it sounds like folks can get and join the 360 movement. Thanks so much, Ty.
Yeah.
Awesome. If you guys have any questions, drop them in. I'm going to go ahead and I think we have Brian joining us with his students. Brian, I know this is bright and early in Sydney, so thanks everyone for coming. Brian, are you there? Do you have a minute to share?
I am here. I do have my students here. Currently, there they are. They're all working hard on their maths at the moment. Yeah, so my inquiry questions, come back in a moment, was all about personalised learning and creating a resource that allowed my students to actively engage in their learning. So, yeah, basically I took a concept that we were working on around the content of the maths syllabus and recreating that into a resource where our students engaged on their level with that content. So there was a mixture of flip learning involved with that, recorded mini lessons that we put together, as well as a whole bunch of activities which allowed the students to work through at their own pace their learning. So whole bunches of one-on-one tutoring, which there was a prime example of one that was just about to happen, so which I'll have to go back to in just a moment. But yeah, overall, it was adopted really well in my learning space. Basically, we've got a learning space of 350 metres squared, with 5 teachers permanently working in there with 114 students. So that's actively what's going on at the moment.
So awesome, Brian. And I've shared your blog post. Is there anything else innovators can do to help get on board or to help you out or to help share? Any calls to action? I
suppose just engage your kids with different ways of learning. That's a real crucial key, because once your students are inspired and engaged, anything's possible.
Thanks, Brian, and thanks for coming. Tell your kids thanks for loaning you for a couple of minutes. We appreciate it.
I'll let them quickly wave.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Hi. What do you love most about Mr. Host?
They're all dressed up like farmers today. We're doing a major fundraiser for the drought-affected farmers all across Australia. So that was a student initiative based out of one of our other projects that we've been doing. So
awesome. Thanks, Mr. Host.
Thank you. See you.
All right, awesome. It's always nice to see who we're trying to affect here. Cool. Let's go to our next one. I think I see that Rebecca, you're going to Honor Society induction. You cannot be late. Let me pull up Rebecca's really quickly. Here we go. Hi, Rebecca. How are you?
I just want to make sure you can hear me okay.
Yep, and we see you. You look great. You look ready for honor.
I am ready. Yeah. So my problem was I wanted to create virtual reality geology field trips. And then, you know, Tour Builder came out in the middle of it, but whatever. So basically what I ended up creating, which was a huge learning curve, is if those who have been on Voyager and you've seen the Voyager field trips and stuff like that, I've basically created a way for you to make your own virtual reality using a spreadsheet. Okay, so each row of the spreadsheet will create one page of something very Google Voyager-ish. Okay, the thing that makes it super different is that you can have an entire classroom of kids working on the same spreadsheet, building their same web page at the same time, which is kind of awesome. And then the other thing that makes it really different is on that page that you're on right now is if you find a field trip that somebody else has made that you really like, you can actually, this is coming soon, this is my next step, is instead of just sharing it or emailing it, you can actually make a copy of the spreadsheet. So now you don't have to, yeah, there you go. That's basically what you make using a spreadsheet. And the issue, I don't know how to fix right now. Can you put your cursor on like that main screen that's blank and just kind of drag your mouse just a smidge? There you go. I don't know why it's doing that. That's my next thing to fix. But you can see it looks a lot like Voyager, but I was able to put in my own images, my own text. And by a teacher finding one that they like, they can tweak it because everybody likes to do that without having to recreate the wheel. So I don't know how to write code at all, but I bartered with one of my students who's now a senior. He's building a tiny house, so I'm doing all the sewing of the curtains and the cushions for him to write the code for my project.
Oh my gosh, oh, that's awesome. Cyrus was talking to our group in Washington, D.C. two days ago, and he said that same way of just, you know, going on LinkedIn and talking to developers and just asking, and especially for something like this when it's a funky little fix. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm also struggling with getting the 360 images that I took and put on Earth showing up. It seems like the default is Earth mode instead of the 360 mode. So that's the next thing I'm working on tweaking. But I've been enjoying not being crippled. So I've been outside a lot, not working on this.
Yay, not on a computer. Well, snaps for Rebecca, everybody.
Thanks. All right, I got to go induct a bunch of kids.
Thanks for sharing. Good luck. Awesome. Let's get our next innovator up. Looks like we've got Judy Blakeney. Judy, come tell us about strength-based EDU.
So I have been able to do some presentations at a variety of conferences, from EdTech Team Summit to Q National and some Q Locals, and training with a partner, a friend of mine. Her name is Dr. Tricia Hyun. We also are working with the Institute for Teaching, which is a 501c3 sub of California Teachers Association, and also the Instructional Leadership Corps, which works with Stanford on how to bring this approach. So it's more of a philosophical thing, really changing how teachers work with students. My initial problem was how to engage the unengaged and uninspired student in school, and it was to figure out what their strengths were, and then to move from there into a educational approach that focused and built on strengths as opposed to built on fixing deficits or weaknesses. So I'm having an opportunity to go back to the classroom, and I applied for a grant, which I got, and you can see Tricia and me at the bottom of that. And in the Discovering tab, you'll find more information just to get a deeper understanding of what it is. And ways, this is a presentation that we gave below about ways to look at it. Some of the types of things you could do are using Flipgrid to enhance student voice, and then also to use more digital portfolios, which is kind of my initial solution. And I'm working with the Institute for Teaching with a group of other teachers on writing a book about this approach and how it works. There are actually 7 factors that go with the approach of being oriented toward a future-oriented, student-centered, work-oriented, okay, other stuff along those lines. So what we're trying to do is help people understand what that is. And in the grant that I got and where I'm working now with students, I'll be working on helping in a class see how it works in real life. So I said my sparks, and this you can see are my children, and and then part of it is you could see sparks for Tricia that she had. And what we're doing in terms of developing, if you go onto that, Wendy, onto that tab, is just about how you can develop some of these aspects. And these are the 7 factors driving a culture of success right there. And so that's an article that might be worthwhile looking at. And really the thing is you want to start small with one thing. What can I try out? What can I explore? We're probably looking at developing a podcast and maybe a Twitter chat. So it's evolving in terms of what we want to do and how we want to do it. And obviously this came out of an innovator project, but it's a thing that keeps sort of expanding wider and wider. I think from an iteration standpoint, I'm trying to figure out how to make it go from me and Tricia presenting someplace to other people embracing it and finding a way to explore opportunities. So that's kind of where we are.
Dude, that's awesome. Snap it up, project. Everybody, snapped it up.
Thanks.
Oh, that's awesome. Any questions or feedback for Judy?
Judy, I'm just so proud of you.
Thanks. It's just one step after another, and all of a sudden you're at the top of the mountain, and then you got to go down the valley again and back up the mountain again. Thanks, Mary.
And Mary, one of our coaches and serial entrepreneur, any advice for Judy or anyone else who's looking to, they've made something awesome, right? Oh, there's a lot of cool things here. The best way to share that with people and amplify it and get more people involved. Any tips for you with your 35 businesses?
No, I think you just have to keep going.
And drink whatever's in your cup, right? What's in your cup today?
I'm not going to share that.
Is it morning, noon, or night there? What time is it?
It's very early morning here.
Okay. Yeah. So hot coffee, probably, or hot tea.
Yeah.
Just keep going, says Mary.
Yeah, just keep going. It can be hard because I know, Judy, your journey was even an innovator, you had to scrap some ideas and then start over. And I like that you just, kept at it and, just didn't stop. And I'm just amazed.
Thanks so much.
Yay. Awesome. Cool. Let's keep cruising. Thanks, Judy, for sharing that. We've dropped that into the chat for folks to get involved into strength-based EDU. Next, we're going to go to Joanna. Joanna was at ISTE 2 sharing it at our kitchen. Locate Ed. So let me drop this on. And how's it going, Joanna?
Good. So my challenge was to educators spend a lot of time researching new ideas online, but I know that there are lots of people out there that believe in helping those that are trying to start a new idea or have a question. So what I did is I wanted to create an app that was accessible to any educational professional to go to. So you there on my website that you have pulled up, it's easy to download the app. I have a demo there. The app has two features. So the first feature is to locate guidance. And there is a quick thing that the people visiting the app can fill out. There are categories that you pick, and then all you have to do is ask your question, and you are matched with educational professionals around the world that is there to lend some advice to you or get you started on an idea. The other part of the app is that you can load innovative ideas to like an Instagram kind of feel stream, and you can get ideas from around the world that people are using or people are applying in their classrooms. So the app has two features. I hope to expand one more feature on the app later this year, which is I would love to put on there the availability for any educational professional to put professional development opportunities around the globe so people can see those on a map and can sign up from there to go to those opportunities. So yeah, that's located. The app's available on the App Store on Google Play. So my call to action is to go download the app and become a member of our community that keeps on growing. We're in 22 different countries. So yeah, we just need people to hear about it.
Yay. Awesome. Snaps for Joanna, everybody. Super cool. Any questions or thoughts for Joanna? I love your website. I love how it immediately pulls you into downloading it, and then I immediately see what it does. This is really awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Any tips on that, on how and you've done such a good job. You have stickers and swag. Any tips for folks on kind of going for it? You really went for it and are launching it and are such an inspiration in that way.
Yeah, just keep, the thing is you just keep trying and you keep spreading the word and hope people hop on the app and become a member and start sharing with everybody. So yeah.
Hi, Joanna.
Hi, Mary. How are you?
I'm great. Oh my God. The one thing though that I hope to see in the future for Locate Ed is your meetup feature. I really like to be able to see that in the future. That's kind of something that I really look forward to. I know that I challenged you at the beginning, and I kind of want to apologize for that.
Well, it's in the works. It's in the works. Part of the second phase. So it was the most challenging part to put on the app. So I put it on the back burner, but it hasn't died. It's in the planning stage. So yeah, very excited about it.
Wendy, I don't know if you know, but in Innovation Academy last year, I said, Joanna, if you don't do anything with your app in 90 days, I'm making it.
You sure did. You sure did. So that's why I had to go real fast. I knew that you were going to put it together if I didn't.
You should do that. Should be a service, Mary. Beatmary.com, and then as long as you could beat her to the marketplace, you're in good shape. It's a good.
Yeah, I have to be fast to this.
Awesome. Thanks, Joanna. I saw we have another coach in the house. Chris Betcher, are you there?
Yes. Hello. Good morning.
Hi, Chris. Any thoughts after seeing some of these about being a coach on the ground and now seeing their projects come to life?
Yeah, they're pretty impressive. I just actually downloaded Locate Ed and setting it up. So yeah, I love what everyone's doing. It's awesome.
Late.
Thanks, Chris. All right, cool. We've got Heidi on tap next with Polaris. Polaris project. Here we go. Hey, Heidi, how are you?
Hey, good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. Okay. So the problem that I was working on was trying to develop a system that I could use for personalized professional learning in my district. And basically what I did was I combined the innovator's mindset with school design thinking and Mitch Resnick's creative learning spiral to develop a model that we used throughout the course of last year to identify problems in the classroom and then develop ways to solve those problems. And I feel like it worked out pretty well. This year we're in our second iteration and we are focusing on our district's desire to come up with a portrait of a graduate. And so what I've added into that is actually a student day. So we're really going to dig into empathy this year and try to understand what it means to be a student. So I have about 13 teachers that I'm working with, and we are all going to be students for a day. It's kind of terrifying and exciting at the same time. So we'll be reflecting on that and sharing about it, and then trying to adjust some practices to meet the needs of our learners, which is kind of fun. Let's see, the other thing that I've sort of done is with personalized professional learning is I've dovetailed my project with Polaris with what James Allen is doing. He's another innovator in a different cohort, and he has his project was KY Go Play. And that was something we had worked on. I'll have to drop the link into that. That was something we had been working on for a couple years, and he's sort of taken it to another level. And with KY Go Play, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get people to play to learn, to find something that just sparks your curiosity, play with the idea, and then share what you've learned. And so we use the hashtag KY Go Play, and we like that ignite, play, share model. So I've started a couple KY Go Play days throughout the district where we meet in the morning, and people are going to come in and just be challenged to play with something. And so that's really like the call to action, I guess. There's Disrupting PD with KY Go Play. There's we've got a hashtag and there's a website, kygoplay.com. So the call to action for that would be to sign up to take the challenge. And each month we're releasing different challenges. This month was to play around with Tour Builder. And September, which I still need to get together and finish up, is going to be a lot of green screening challenges. So just find something you're interested, play around, and that's pretty much what I've been up to.
Yay, awesome. Snaps for Heidi. We'll drop that call to action in the chat. Sign up, KY Go Play. Snap it out, everybody. Yay. Awesome. Any questions or thoughts for Heidi? Unmute and say yay. Awesome. It looks really great, and it looks like it's got a lot of momentum. Thanks so much for sharing. Perfect. We have a few more innovators left to top us off at the hour. We've got Michael Davidson. Michael, you're going to share a little bit about, here we go, creating a quiz with Scratch. Let's pop this up for you. How are you, Michael?
Not too bad. It's a nice day down here, so yeah, enjoying it.
Nice.
So my project started off as kind of with the digital technologies curriculum coming into New Zealand, and realizing that one, not a lot of teachers actually know how to teach it, and two, there's kind of not a way for them to kind of fit it in when there's already so much to do. So what I wanted to do is create kind of a series of instructional videos that they could use, the kids could use, to help them do these coding projects that were also kind of linked to other areas of the curriculum. So in the course of the past year, I kind of had a lofty goal of about 20 videos, but got to about 5. But also in all the discoverings of that, I kind of also looked at a couple other projects. So I've also made a bunch of digital breakouts. Kind of branched off from that. I've started like a little mini newsletter as well to kind of spread the videos, because what I found was that the first ones, when I shared them, everyone was keen and I got a lot of views on YouTube, but the last ones have kind of trickled down, even though when I've used them with the kids, they've gone really well. Recently, I did have some tweets sent out to me from friends who would use the videos. So I'm looking forward to continue making those. Just I guess call to action would be if anyone wants to kind of share them, use them, give me feedback, because that was one of the things that was kind of hard to come by. Most people said, "Oh, these are amazing," which is great, but I kind of want to push things forward a little bit. So yeah, been really pleased with kind of the way my thinking has kind of evolved over the course of the past year, and the other ideas that are kind of brewing in my brain at the moment.
Oh, this is all awesome, Michael. Snaps around for Michael. And this looks really well organized and super user friendly. And yeah, hopefully for your call to action of letting people use it and give you some critical feedback. Hopefully as innovators, you keep asking the community, keep asking the Google group, keep putting it out on Twitter on hashtags and ask and get more users and keep iterating on your features. That looks great. If there's any questions for Michael or thoughts or critical feedback, drop it in the chat. But thanks so much for sharing, Michael. It looks great. All right, let's cruise on. We got Monica. Monica Limmer, are you in the house still?
Hang on, just trying to switch on.
There you are.
Hi.
Hi, thanks for coming. Tell us about your Digitech Hub project.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a bit hard going for me because I've been quite unwell for over a term, so I had to put it on ice. But I had like little mini spin-offs from it. So what I did instead of, I had these visions of taking it to a bigger forum. I've actually worked more in our smaller circle of the 3 special schools in Christchurch. So at the moment, I'm kind of trying to stick it all on a website that we've done so far, and I've got some collaborators. So it actually kind of seems like I've had an 8-month delayed start. But I've just decided to give it a reboot and start again from now because basically I wasn't anywhere. But yeah, I think the good thing for me is that now that in New Zealand, the digital curriculum has moved forward, like the implementation, people are suddenly a lot more interested. A year ago when I started with my, hey, come to my class, let's watch special ed, let's watch what we're doing here. People weren't they said to me it wasn't relevant, but now actually it is. So I think I've got second wind, and the Energizer really helped me as well to see everybody again and kind of thinking I can do this. So I might have to go to another Energizer video call like this next year to show you my finished product.
Yay! Well, we hope to see everyone again and keep you going and keep that shot in the arm of keep innovating and get over life's hurdles as well, right? So if anyone had to put things aside, it comes and goes in waves. So
yeah, but if anybody has any resources, like when you do something with, especially like with your younger students, where you think, hey, this is creative, and hey, Monica might be able to do that with her kids. We're looking at like what is New Zealand level 1, 2 curriculum, so maybe up to your year 3, 4s. Anything a bit out there, please let me know because I'm always on the lookout for something a bit new.
Love it. Yeah, we just had a WDC17 Innovator Share SPED Ed Hub that he was working on too. So now is a really great time to see some of the other projects that are coming out and to make some
cool. Good. Can you connect me to that person?
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be great.
The hub is great. Yeah. Thanks, Monica. Snaps all around for Monica. So great
Thanks.
to see you last week. Thank you. All right. Call to action, help out Monica and with this form for sure. Cool. We've got up next. Emily is here. Oh, talking about Heather's project. We already got to see Emily's Design Thinker Lab. Thanks, Emily, for dropping that in. Is there anyone who didn't get to fill out our form who's on the call who wanted to say a quick hello or hi? Yeah, I think we got Martin. Did we get you? Are you there? Oh, let me grab you, Martin. Hang on. 1 second. There you are, Martin. Perfect. Thank you. I've got ICT EDU Mag up on the screen. Martin, tell us about this.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And anyone who was at the Energizer, I apologise for seeing this again. You can go get yourself a cup of coffee. But those who haven't, our innovator journey was a little bit different. So totally pivoted from my original idea, and now a bit of a joint partnership. So Sir Lynn Heatherton, who was also at Sydney last year, the two of us have combined and joined our powers for good, hopefully, and this is the product. So the ICT EDU mag. We effectively trying to design something for school leaders. So we found that often schools have one person that the responsibility of leading. If you click on the magazine there, yeah, thanks. Have the responsibility of leading the professional learning within their school, driving that. So we wanted something that would be a nice, easy read for them, up to date articles written by teachers, with little things, tips and tricks, as well as how they can lead PD in their school. So we've got 2 issues out there. We'd love you to subscribe, share the love around. We're designing it for Australian and New Zealand audience because we know the curriculum, but obviously most of the content's very global and can be utilised anywhere around the world. So please jump on. We'd love any feedback. There's a subscribe button at the end. There's also a feedback form. So that's something we're in issue 2. We'd love some feedback to see how we can improve it. The design's changed already from issue 1. Issue 1 was very basic. I did the design, and Sir Lynn bringing a really good design mindset to it. Issue 2, as you can see, is a bit cleaner, and that's where we're at. So very different to what I came in with a year ago, but exciting that we're able to pivot in a big way.
I love it. Snaps all around for Martin. And Martin, I think this is such a good example of collaboration with Sir Lynn. Any tips for if someone is continuing on with their project? I know that can really help fill in gaps where of skills, and really also help with time, because so many of us are so busy that the more hands we can have on a project, the more time we can have on it. Any tips for working with a partner on things?
I think above all else, I'd absolutely encourage it. If there's another mind, you can, particularly that bouncing ideas. You mentioned sharing different skill sets. We're definitely bringing something different each to the table, but more the conversations, I think, are the most important thing. That it's a pretty tough gig on your lonesome. So having somebody else, this wouldn't have happened on my own, and I don't think on Sir Lynn's own. So yeah, find somebody else, find another sort of crazy person out there who'll share that idea with you.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Martin. Great, guys. So we're at the end of our hour. I wanted to thank everyone for coming and sharing and connecting back with each other a year later. It's really powerful to meet back with each other, and we hope you continue to do that. Continue to reach out if you have any other needs or support that you want, or just to collaborate, just like Martin is sharing the power of collaborating with somebody. With that, we'll go ahead and give away our Chrome tab, and hopefully you all think about what is next for you, and if that is continuing on the project you have or starting afresh, we're here for you. So we're going to go ahead and unmute, and everyone say SYD17 after the count of 3. Here we go. Unmute, and 1, 2, 3. SYD17. Oh, I can't wait for our 10-year reunion. The winner, just by random draw from our door prize of our Innovator branded Chrome tab, is Becky Shorey. Becky, you're our winner. Yay. Thanks everyone for coming. We'll share this online, and we'll see you online. Thanks all.
Thanks, Wendy. And congratulations.
Thanks, Wendy. Thanks everyone.
Everybody else.
Thank you. Have a great day, guys.
Bye.
Bye everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.